Guys, welcome back to another episode where we're diving into the stories behind electronic dance music. Today, I'm excited to have Lorely Mur. She's a groundbreaking Mexican DJ producer and a space enthusiast whose journey is inspired us as unique. Lorely's passion for techno was born during her time in Berlin. Now she's a resident of the iconic Hardpop Club. Lorely has shared the stage with Nico Moreno, Lindsay Herbert, 9 times 9, Dax J, Sarah Landry, Clan Questler, becoming a headliner now for her deep sound and techno sounds, obviously. She most recently played at Rebels Party in Mexico City, representing Mexico. She has releases on Eclipse Recordings, Visions, born in Mexico, just to name a few. But Lorely's story doesn't end on the dance floor. By day, she works at Blue Origin, the American space technology company, contributing cutting-edge space exploration, from developing rocket engines to working on projects that push humanity towards the stars. Her role is a testament to her dedication to innovation and her love for the cosmos. This duo life, artist by night and space exploring by day, sets Lorely apart as true visionary. Welcome to the Story by Humans.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. What do you think? Was it a good intro?
Yeah, love it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Great,
Appreciate
great.
it.
Lorely, so how was your party on Saturday? You had a good
Yes,
time?
it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Met a lot of people, and the lineup was amazing.
Right. Yeah, I even messaged you through Instagram. I was like, man, you barely said that. I was talking to PC. I don't know if you know PC from Juarez.
Yeah.
I was like, how was the party? I was like, bro, you can tell the difference from
Nah.
So Kowan has played at Hardpop for a long time. It's setting the tone of the party.
Yes.
Little by night, just going boom, 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 immediately.
Right.
So, Lydia, I wanted to start with how do you eat? I guess an astronaut, or
Yeah.
how did that started?
So it started since I was little. I wanted to be an astronaut, but I think like everybody who works in space is like the kind of like the frustrated dream that you have, and
Right.
then you go work for space. But yeah, I mean, eventually that when I started to grow, I lost it, and then coming back to the university in Texas, I took this astronomy class, and then after that, I was like, oh my God, I forgot I really loved space. So I decided to pursue a career in the business area for space.
Okay.
So yeah, when I was at UTEP, I took several classes for astronomy and for like space economy, and then getting a little deeper. I also worked with several projects in order to do like reports for like the space economy.
Gotcha.
And then that's how eventually Lockheed Martin gave me a internship to go work for them for a couple of summers. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's where all my space journey started.
How hard is that to become an astronaut?
It's very hard.
Is it?
Yes,
I was wondering
it's
because
a lot of studies and a lot
Really?
of physical exams. I actually, I mean, I never thought I was gonna go in, but you could apply to join this 7-day to the moon made by this Japanese billionaire. And yeah, the process of that, it was like, giving 2 essays and then doing a physical exam. And yeah, I just passed to the second phase, and that's it.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy. You know which one that I see? A series that I watched is Away. Have you seen it on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's a really good
Yeah,
series.
it's amazing.
It's
I like
amazing,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's really what happens to people that goes to the space? Like, like what they say in Mexico, el muerto y el arrimado, pues, a los 3 días. But I guess when you're in space and you with all these people that you don't really know, you
Yeah.
kind of after a few months, I guess weeks, you're like, oh man, this guy doesn't clean. You think that happens up there? Do you know?
I don't really know, but I'm assuming yes, kind of.
So if you don't mind, I'm gonna alternate between music and space.
Yeah.
That works? Okay,
That
so
works
I'm gonna go to the
perfect.
second question. Well, now the other question, music.
Yeah.
How did you start as DJing? How did your career as a DJing started?
Yeah.
And who was your figure? I guess a figure that you were following or your mentors?
Yeah. So it started when long time ago when I was in high school. Me and my brother bought like this equipment to start like practicing, and we were just like bedroom DJs. We would like teach each other, and then we will do like after parties at home. And then we will go with my uncle to raves and stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
So yeah, he is my mentor. He's here.
You want to give a shout out?
Pavel. But he actually like gave us like a lot of schooling in terms of like the music and in terms of like the scene. And then me and my brother got like very interested, and he started like doing more research about it. And then when I moved to Europe and I came back, he was already playing by himself. And then a friend who played psytrance, his name is Julio as well. He taught me the basics of how to mix and beat match as well. Then yeah, that's where I started with my curiosity and
Right.
in practicing. But yeah, it was just the beginning of high school.
Gotcha. So I got this trivia question. Because I guess we're gonna go to this one in a minute.
Yeah,
Because you work.
that's why I
for
didn't
Blue
want to go
Ridge.
further.
Because was this like more like a funny question to ask? If Jeff Bass was asking you to throw a party, who would be your opener?
That's a good question. My opener.
You can say Pavel. That's fine.
It will be Pavel. I have several friends that I would actually would love them to invite them to play with me. Yes.
You see it feasible? Like they can throw parties there, in there, like
Yeah,
a company party, or not like.
nah, not really. Maybe one day they invite me. Some people at work that they already know.
I was about to ask you that they know you'll actually be in
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because I usually when I was working at Lockheed, it's like a double life. So I'm trying not
That's how I
to.
feel.
Yeah, I try to separate my space life with
Right.
my DJ career.
Your career.
So yeah, when I go into the office, it's funny because this time, one person found me on Spotify, and then he's like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, yes. And then after that, everybody started to know.
Really?
And then of course I was like, okay, I cannot hide it. So yeah,
Right.
eventually. So yeah, now they know. Some people.
I like working on NASA programs like Blue. Is the same thing? NASA Blue Origin? No, right? Blue Origin is another company. NASA is the government.
So yeah, exactly.
Right.
So NASA, it's more of the organization, the United States Organization of Space. But every company that wants to, for example, launch something to space, they have to go through NASA, and it's a regulation, And then NASA doesn't really build much in NASA. I mean, yes, but it's owned by other companies. So
Gotcha.
Blue Origin and SpaceX or Lockheed or ULA, they all have offices inside NASA where they develop a spacecraft, and then after that they can easily just take it to the pad and then launch it or stuff like
Okay.
that. So
Nice.
yeah, it's different. This is another company. It's a company.
Gotcha. What's some of the most exciting projects that you worked there?
I think the most exciting at Blue, it's been the project that I am in. I really enjoy working on this project. It's called Space Resources, and basically the team, what it's developing, it's this whole new technology where eventually we can put power on the moon, and that would, eventually help us colonize the moon first. And it is a very special project because it's, a technology that it's never been developed before. So there's a lot of, uncertainties. There's a
Right.
lot of research, a lot of discoveries. So yeah, I think this is a very complicated project, but
Right.
that's the beauty of it. So that's my
That's
favorite.
crazy.
Yes.
When do they have a plan of sending how many people at once up there? Do you know? Do they have a plan like that?
Well, that is more like a NASA
Thing.
thing because so this project, the TP Pong project, it has several we won this portion of the contract, but other companies win other portions, like doing other technologies, and then eventually NASA says, okay, we have all of the technology that we need in order to colonize. But it is a question that it's like unknown.
Right.
But hopefully soon. That is the
Right.
goal. We have very tight
crazy.
like timelines, and it's like a very like fast paced environment.
Really?
So hopefully, yeah.
Dang.
In 15 years, you never know.
Really? Is that what the ETA is, roughly?
Hopefully, yes. It's
But it's
yeah.
crazy that, well, two things. Crazy that you work there and then still have time to techno party and then DJ and all that stuff. And it's crazy
Yeah.
to think that we're just not the only ones here, right? And it's trying to develop humanity up there in another different planet.
Yes.
And it's, we just keep rolling and in your life. Don't really think about it.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, it is a little challenging sometimes, but it's
Right.
good to make it work.
So Hardpop is one of the best clubs in Mexico, as we know.
Yes.
When did you became a resident there, and how did that happen?
So yeah, continuing the story when I started DJing and all that. So after, several, after parties or years, actually, me and my brother would host, or I would like, attend to an after party in Juarez. And then I would see like the DJs there, and I would be like, hey, can I plug in my USB?
Right.
And one of those times, I didn't know who were dancing at the after party, but a couple of like managers from, the previous owner or the previous administration, they were in the after party, and they took videos of me and sent them to, the owner and then the booker. And so they reached out to me after that, and invited me to open for Sofia Says, which is a Georgian artist. And that was like the first time I played in a club or anything.
Right.
Before that it was my bedroom, and then some after
after
parties in a house.
Right.
So yeah, it was very. I was very nervous.
Right.
I was shaking when I was
How old were you
playing.
there?
It was 2017.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was young.
I'm trying to
Don't say nothing.
Right. I was like, wait, I'm trying to put it up.
Let's not talk about my age.
But
I'm
did you ever
kidding.
play when I live in Mexico, in Juarez? Do you play at the mansion?
I
You ever
did.
heard? No, but you ever heard that name? It
I
was like
think
at
so.
this house in Campestre.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like
Oh yeah, yes,
big house,
yes.
and there
I
was like
remember
parties there
that.
all the
Yeah.
time. That's crazy.
Yeah. And anyway, so yeah, I played for Sofia Says, and then it went super well. That the Sofia Says, the headliner, asked me to play back to back with her at the end.
Okay.
But I was like,
You
I was so nervous. I wanted to vomit. I was like getting,
Really?
dizzy. So I'm like, no, I already played. I already went through all of that. I can't. And unfortunately, I rejected the back to back. But I kind of think that was one of the reasons that the previous owner saw,
Right.
that he's like, okay, like, she did a good job. Then I opened a couple of times more, and yeah, they asked me to be a resident after that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Have you tried? I mean, have you played with her again ever since?
No, I
No?
wish I could. Yeah,
Man.
I mean, I wish she comes back soon, but
Right.
I haven't seen her since
Since
that
then?
time.
How was that? Since you opened, how do you feel that set one? That day.
I felt good. Yeah, very good.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, since you were all nervous, so you
Yeah.
smiling through it.
There-
I
no,
was like,
I mean, I'm always nervous.
Right.
Yeah, in my sets.
Right.
Not as much as that time, but it's like everybody's like, seriously, did you still get nervous?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. My
Hey.
stomach hurts. Nobody can talk to me 5 minutes before my set, please.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, the second time it was just the same. Actually, I would be like very nervous that
Right.
I would like hide underneath my hair, and so one of my productions, I called it melena, because I would use my melena to hide inside of
really?
to hide underneath. So yeah, that was just, but yeah.
So which is harder? Do you think it's harder to align beats or align rocket components?
Line beats is so easy.
Is it?
Yes.
You know, I tried it, it never really worked out for me. So I was like,
Yeah, well, it's like different, very different jobs, but they're both engineering. I mean, I guess in the production part,
Yeah.
they're both engineering. But yeah, it's very,
DJ is a little bit easier.
yeah.
So how do you manage to attend university by simultaneously going, I guess, a DJ career?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. So it was a lot of like time management, a lot of like organization. I think like since I've been like in college doing both, because when Hardpop made me resident, I started to play like more often every month, and so I was going to school as well. And in school, I was part of two organizations. I was president of both organizations, so I had to, during the week, I had like a very busy week, like going to giving meetings and studying. And I sometimes would stay in, the library until 2 a.m. and then go to school next day, and then on the weekends go play, and then back and forth. So it's like a lot of time management skills. Because it is. I mean, in between, you also want to find life, you know, and so it's like it's kind of like, and that, I mean, starting there at university, doing all of these things, it was rough, because going to university for me, it was harder than going to work right now.
For sure.
Because at university, I was very like involved like in several stuff and internships and work, and then going to school and all of that.
You had a job?
I had two internships during the university, but one of them was non-paid. So it was with the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, and that's where I had to do like this economic report on the space industry, which I loved that internship, but it was non-paid. So I had to get a paid internship, that will like pay the bills. So half of the week was there, and then the other half was going to ADP, doing like global finance.
Right.
And then in the weekends, like, do all of the fun stuff. But I mean, that helped me today to be able to do it as well simultaneously. So it's a lot of like time management, because I need to prepare on, my work schedule during the week, because sometimes we work many hours, sometimes it goes like 55 a week, and sometimes
In the space,
yes, in space, and then time management on the weekend as well, like, because it's like a lot of flying back and forth,
right?
And doing that also like require me to like put a lot of rules, like set some boundaries. So obviously, like if I do DJ, I don't try to take like the gigs during Thursdays or like Sundays, because I know that, I mean, Thursdays I work next day and Sundays I work next day, but that's usually like a travel day back home,
right?
And then I try not to take more than 3 gigs a month.
Right.
So I have 1 weekend off, I don't like back-to-back gigs. I mean, I make like exceptions when they're like very good gigs, but I don't like going Friday here and Saturday here, because I mean, I don't enjoy the experience. I'm just like, running around, and I like to stay. I like to like hang out with, the people who invite me. I like to stay on the events,
right?
Until the end. Listen to the.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
Hey, well, I was here visiting.
Okay.
But I mean, you make time. So if so that's some boundaries that I have to put in order to make this happen.
For sure, yeah. Especially when you travel a lot. Like last week, I think, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, I think it was like Saturday night, Sunday, or something like that. But I did like 6 flights in between all this. I was like, oh man, I'm exhausted. And it feels like it's not.
No.
But now when I used to do more, book the DJs and everything, I was like, man, I'm talking shit, but it's not like that. But now that I'm kind of doing the artist thing, so I'm like, oh yeah, it does take some time, bro. Like 3 hours at first and 3 hours again, and to get done the plane and all that stuff.
And for your health as well, it's like you go like that all year round, and it's like you have to take care of yourself, and it's exhausting.
So can you tell us about Unscene, right?
Yes.
I think I talked about this about what he said. I'll let her explain it.
Yes.
What's the name? Dustin. So about Unscene, what inspired you, and then
Yes.
and what's behind that creation?
Well, Unscene started as an idea first when I was in the development process of my label, and I really wanted to connect, the label with a party. But then I'm like, okay, I mean, the label is taking a little longer, and then I know we're going to talk about it, so I'm not going to go deeper. But I wanted to start doing parties in Denver that, that bring the kind of artists that we don't usually get. I mean, we get more like the mainstream, we get more like the most commercial, which is perfect as well.
Right.
But there's a kind of techno that it doesn't really like. It's not very famous here in the United States.
Right.
So and then trying to combine, trying to make an experience rather than just like a rave. So I invited Dustin to be my partner to try to make this collective together. Because one thing that I've learned in school, at work, and everywhere is that I cannot do everything by myself.
Right.
Although I try, but I've been learning that it's not the right way.
You have to delegate.
Yeah, exactly.
It costs me a lot too. I try not to. I guess I don't know if you think the same. I think about they're not gonna the same way I was thinking to do it.
Well, you have to divide and conquer, right? Because there is so much you can do in this pace of life that I have, right? And it's very, and also like bringing different ideas from other people like helps a lot. And working with Dustin has been incredibly good because we both have the passion, we have the initiative, we both want the same thing. And I invited him home, and I'm like, and let me do this presentation for you, you're gonna love it. We really connected, we really had like the same vision, and what we really what Unscene came together is more of like trying to put more detail, or trying to pay more attention to light architecture and sound design in combination with the artist.
Right.
So we both been like, trying to get more knowledgeable on how we can, make lights better, a production that will create like, a sense of experience, a better experience. So that's been like our main focus. We are ramping up. We're just gonna have our first anniversary in March.
Is this the first year?
Yes.
Yes, nice.
And we don't do many events because we are still learning, and we want quality.
You won't have no time with the space.
I know.
Like that, I think it's better when you don't do that many. That way you can actually create an experience.
Yeah.
Like if you do it every weekend, then it's kind of
quality,
like,
not quantity, and that's what we're trying to approach. Obviously, we will want to like ramp up and do more events, but in order for us to do that, we are trying to build a platform where Unscene can basically run by itself without the need of my presence at some point.
Right.
But for now, since we're just very starting and we're just like, moving things around, we're just, excited for what is to come, because the first year we had amazing events, and we already have 3 events planned for, the first 2 quarters. So
okay,
I'm excited.
That's good. Yeah,
yes.
I'm excited. I'm sure I'll be there.
Yes, I hope you can join us at once.
So what would be DJ name? Lorely Mur, that was your first DJ, your first alias, or you never had another one?
No.
No, Lorely Mur?
No.
What would be one that you can create if you spin it for astronauts? Do you ever thought about a different one or no?
No. I honestly, I always wanted to relate everything I do with my name.
Right.
But the Mur cut down was just because I wanted to separate the professional life with, the artistic.
Right.
But if I wanted, I kind of thought one day about doing an alias, because I'm gonna start exploring the idea of producing like dark ambient. So I'm not sure if I want to do it under the same name or doing it on an alias. But if it was on an alias, I wanted to put it just MUR.
M-U-R,
like
Mur?
Mur.
Okay.
But just because it's different, but I don't have like a name.
You think it works getting two different aliases or no?
For me, I don't think it will at the end because at the end of the day, I'm the same person. It's just the art changes, and it's okay to see the trajectory under one name.
Okay.
It can get confused. I can see how people can get confused if you have different styles.
Right.
And then you go see this person, and it's like, well, I don't know what he's gonna play if he plays this,
Right.
this. But for me, I think I will maintain it just one.
Gotcha. Yeah, because what's his name? Was it Maceo Plex?
Yeah.
He has another one, Metric or Metric or something.
Okay,
Like that. He
yeah.
plays more like electro.
Yeah.
And
Like
sometimes
Rishi Houghton, and then
right.
he has.
I think when they have two different names, they kind of deviate of. They don't. If it's Maceo Plex still doesn't play, it will bring some of the other sounds. But I don't know. It's just how I read it now.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I think it serves a purpose like individually, but yeah, for me, I decided I'll just do all of it under my name, the same name.
So winning a United Nations scholarship, is amazing. Can you share the experience?
Yeah. So when I was in college, doing the free internships for the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, when I did that report, I did an economic outlook report on the District of Texas in the aerospace industry, and that report really went out. And then after that, I got an internship because of that with Congressman Beto O'Rourke as a congressional intern. That was also non-paid. But those two non-paid internships really put me
Put the spotlight on you.
yeah, it gave me a spotlight. And so United Nations, I didn't apply or anything, so they just reached out to me.
How do they reach out normally? By email?
Through university. In university they have this, I don't know, thing, like a program, and I was reached by the university because of that.
Dang.
And so they invited me to be a scholar for this. What that meant is that they took me to Colorado Springs to this very, very big conference. That was my first time in Colorado. This big conference where all of the leaders of space are gathered all together in one place.
Right.
And so it was a very great experience. And after that, Lockheed Martin offered me a job because I met them there, and then it was very nice for me to be acknowledged for the work that
Right.
I thought
You weren't
it
getting
didn't
anything.
gonna have any a lot of meaning.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's and it was non-paid work
Right.
that sometimes back in
then,
school,
yeah.
a lot of students would say oh no, why would I waste my time doing that for free? But it was kind of like an investment.
Right.
It was hard because you needed to work for
Really spend some
for
time
getting
on it, right.
getting also money, but it was worth it.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Especially, not that the people from Juarez don't grow, but I'm saying someone from Juarez, they have done all these already. It's so crazy. Have you ever got an article? I'm sure you have.
Sorry?
In Juarez, have you got an article yet? In Juarez? El Diario, maybe?
No.
I'm doing that for you.
No. I get very, very shy. But
Really?
yeah. Yes. I
That's
love that.
crazy. So can you tell us about your label coming up that you trying
Yes,
you
yes.
launching? Have you shared the name yet or no?
No. So,
Okay. We're gonna get there.
it's already published.
Oh, okay.
So, when I started, the whole thing with Unscene and all that, it was with Quantica first. I decided to name it Quantica because of quantum physics and musica quantica, quantum music.
Right.
And so the label, as how you as how you hear it, it's going to be very connected to science.
Okay.
So I am building the project in order to be both, to both not only give you a representation of music, but also sound design, and also something that you can learn when buying a record from Quantica as well.
Dang.
So it's I'm going very deep on the project because it's gonna take time, and I don't want to I don't want to rush it.
Right.
But I really want to connect also with, artists from Juarez, from our city,
Right.
and trying to invite them to the project, rather than just like, having exchanges, more like linking both.
Right.
And, like I'm talking to this photographer that he makes like this very, very amazing pictures when, like immigrants were like in the border, and there were like some very sad pictures that I
Right.
would want to use them, and kind of like, teach people something through
Right.
their eyes, not only their ears.
Right.
And also, making it kind of like a combination with science and stuff like that. So
Dang.
it's going towards there. But yeah, I'm very excited. The label is Quantica, and so yeah, hopefully.
Have you had a label launch party yet?
Not yet,
Not
because
yet?
I'm still working on the development. So as soon as I have that ready, I'm gonna ask the producers to send me a track,
Right.
and then we're gonna do vinyl as well in
Nice.
all of the releases. So
Right.
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
taking
cool.
a little bit of time, but it's going there.
It's going on. Yeah, it's gonna get there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just talking to PC from Juarez as well, and we always usually bring people from Juarez, right? And he was like, bro, I was like, honestly, bro, the people from the DJs from Juarez, our people, they know how to build a party. It's just so crazy. That you go everywhere else, and who was talking to? I was talking to.
I know. I wish people here knew how we can do things.
Right. No, but
They're
we went to-
way better.
right? From what is it? I think it was Michelle Sparks and Yuhan and Circuit. I think it is Circuit label
Okay.
that they trying to build an experience, and they really don't have that many residents because they want to hear you first and all that stuff. It's like you can bring anybody to the party and trying to open it, and they just always trying to banger after banger. You know what I mean?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I had those lately because
Right.
on this party in Dallas, I am so grateful to the person who opened for me, Sordo. He did an amazing job because
Right.
it's been like lately it's been like a problem, that people, I know you want to shine, I've been
Right.
there, but we need to be also intelligent on, the hour of the party. I
Right.
mean, what is your time slot? Like there's
Yeah,
like
you
three
cannot
people
put-
dancing and you're
Right.
like putting all these bangers,
Right.
or you leave it to the headliner at 155 BPM,
Right.
and it's like, I don't know, like building that. Building that too high too early will make people just like tired,
Right, just
or
tired,
like
pretty
you can have like a disconnection because what if like the headliner doesn't even play like that,
Yeah.
it goes down.
Right.
So I totally agree with that.
Yes, I noticed some of the DJs. I'm not sure, but I think I might be wrong. But some of the DJs, when they open their build up too high,
Yeah.
I can just hear like they cut it off and they start the set from the beginning.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Right. So when they do, I
Yeah.
guess it's part of that. Like, hey, you're going too big. I'm just gonna cut off the party here.
That helps. I usually like to open with an intro, no matter what. It's not
Right.
that I don't want to play with the previous DJ, but
Right.
it's like this is my slot, my
intro.
art. This
Right.
is my story.
Right.
So I like to go with an intro and then start.
there.
But that helps going
Damn.
cutting it off.
So before we jump into the pictures,
Yes.
if the aliens landed at Hardpop, which track will you from your collection will play first?
My what track?
From
Oh my God.
what will be your opener for the aliens at Hardpop?
Well, track, I would say, I would play one from Selective Response called Mars
Okay,
that I've been
nice.
playing
Nice.
lately.
Because Mars?
Yes.
Okay,
I
there you go.
love the track. I already told him I need to stop playing it because I play it all the time.
Really?
Everywhere I go. Because the track is so good, and it's like it has like this like galactic or like alienish sounds with this like super nice kick. So yeah, I
There
would
we go.
definitely play that for them.
Oh, and by the way, you know who? Shout out to Pleasurecraft. He into like the space scene. Have you noticed that?
No.
Yeah. Most of his designs, and if you look at the stories, they all revolve around space.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
that'll
God,
be something
well-
you can reach out to. That I
well,
was just thinking about that.
Funny story is that I also, for example, on my productions,
Mm-hmm.
I also previously I used to record like launches or like stuff
Okay,
like that,
nice.
and then I will put them like on Ableton and then put them like a bunch
You
of
mean like a launch
if-
with like the
yeah, like a rocket
Rocket
launch,
launch?
yes,
Okay.
or like records One time, what I did is that I used the golden record, which is a record that Carl Sagan, which is a scientist that sent to space. If an alien would grab it, they can hear us, and it has like a book also, and all that cool
Dang.
stuff. So I grabbed. I won a replica on a physics competition.
Dang.
So I grabbed
You're over
the.
here flexing.
Sorry.
I said, you over here flexing. What you want?
And on the vinyl, I grabbed the audio files, and then I like convert them in like some kind of like texture sound and added them on my tracks. So yeah, having like something on space into like the music.
Can you give us context on this picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that.
What was these? What was going on? And
So this is the party I played for Rebels at Mexico City. This was an amazing
it's a
production.
huge venue, huh?
Yeah, the venue, it was so big, and the production was the best that I've played in. So yeah, I played in the same
crazy.
lineup as 9x9, Parfait, and Dixon or something like Dixon. Anyways, so yeah, this is the production while we were playing.
Looks like it's packed in there.
It was sold out.
That's
So that was an
crazy.
amazing party, and I opened and I closed on that
Okay,
party.
that's
so
cool.
when I opened, there were already like 400 people.
Damn.
And then when I closed, they were. I think the venue can hold up to like 3,000,
Yeah, it looks like,
4,000
for
people.
sure.
It was packed. It was amazing.
That's crazy. All right, so let's go to this other one. On this one,
Oh, so that's where I played at EDC in 2002. I was playing at the Neon Garden stage, and that was a very nice, very, very nice day.
very nice.
At EDC Mexico.
ADC Mexico. That's crazy. This one.
Oh, that is a ticket of a rover in Mars that went to Mars, and you could put your name. And so,
So if
yeah.
I go to Mars and
Yeah.
I get that, I can see that up there.
Yeah,
Like your ticket.
if you go to Mars, you'll see my name. I'm already there.
That's crazy.
Yes. And yeah, that was in 2020. It was a Mars program called 2020.
Okay.
And it's a rover that gets samples and then brings them back so we can test them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a cool project.
That's a cool project. Do
Yes.
you think you're the only Mexican out there right now, as far as name?
I don't think so. I think there's several. Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
Do we have a NASA thing? Well, not NASA, but something space, Mexican space
Yeah,
thing?
we have. Well, there's a lot of Mexicans that get
No, I'm saying
sponsored.
in Mexico, like an actual space
Yeah,
program thing?
there's a Mexican space agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself running it?
Yeah, hopefully one day. I wish.
Well, I'm
Maybe.
sure you got. After maybe a couple of more years.
Yeah,
I think I see
yeah,
yourself
you
running
never
it because
know.
you'll be.
Never know.
Do we have any more Mexican people in Blue Origin or the NASA?
We
thing?
do.
We do. Okay.
Yes, there's plenty. It's very incredible to see because Mexico has the best engineering. So
That's
it's like, yeah,
crazy.
we are a lot of us. There's a lot of us.
Dang. How about this one?
That's one of the nights that I play in Hardpop. It looks like it's like after we reopened because of the logo. It's
Right.
like black.
Right.
But yeah, it's a good night in Hardpop.
Hardpop. Did they still put all the stickers there? Yeah.
Yep. They used to
They
put
used to
all
put
the
the stickers. Oh, they changed that, right? Because the stickers were around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was previous.
that was previous,
Owner.
yeah.
Now it's new owner.
Right. And then this is the other one.
Yeah, I was playing with Nico Moreno in Denver.
That's him right behind you, right?
Yeah, that's Nico. He's a very nice person.
Is him?
Very
Yeah.
nice. I played in Denver there at Temple in
Temple.
that party, and
Right.
then the next day we both flew to Juarez to play
Hardpop.
at Hardpop. Yeah.
Dang.
So that
That's
happens a
crazy.
lot.
Really?
I play for an artist in Denver, and then next day at Hardpop.
That's crazy.
Which I'm very, very lucky.
Right. And this one, that's it. All right.
Perfect. We have a lot, and I've been reading about a lot of Mexicans doing great things for NASA lately.
Right.
That are like incredible, and yeah, it's just so nice to see so many of us, pursuing a space career.
Right. Do you see any connections between the space exploration and the techno music?
Yes. So, like I was saying, they're both engineering, and
Right.
they both I feel like techno, the style that I like, which is like more like the industrial. I like groovy, I like hypnotic, I like mental, I like the old school hard techno, not the one that it's right now.
Not the what is it?
Not the
One?
EDM slash
Right.
hip hop slash hard
Right.
techno slash hard style. But the old school and all that, they are like very like galactic style, or like more like the sense of like floating, or like more of like, I kind of feel like techno is like very like, space music.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, and I really enjoy techno, and I really like it because it's like a genre that not that it's difficult to understand.
Right.
And the people who understand it, it's like just few, and that's what makes it special, because the people who go to techno parties, they don't end up there.
Right.
It's like you really need to know the music, otherwise you're gonna be like, this is boring, this is repetitive, this
Right.
is, but people who love it, it's like, I think that it's what makes it special.
For sure.
So-
Yeah. When I gone to the festival with my buddy, it was like when I gone to either New York, Miami, I was like, yeah, we'll be there like 2, 3 o'clock. I was like, bro, I'm going now, like 11 p.m. when
Yeah.
that thing's starting.
Yes, right.
So I go there at 10 p.m., 10:30, and then, normally it ends 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. So I'm there like a whole shift party by
How do
ourselves.
you do it? We're old now, we can't.
Yeah. My knees will be hurting the next day. So,
Yeah, of
so
course. You can
I was-
only do one day now, right? Before
know
it
what?
used to be like the whole weekend.
Yeah, I just got back. Well, when I just got back in November, I went to Time Warp in New York, and then I think it was I had just come back. I've done like 3 episodes, 3 podcasts, and then came back to New York to do another one. And then I finished. I went to the hotel, got ready, and came back. And then went to the party, and then came back the second day. I was like, fuck, man, I can't really do the second day, but that was the best day.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck.
So you
I
have to
go.
push yourself,
you have
right?
to. But yeah, after 30s, yeah, you start feeling it for sure.
Right.
So when you earned your sound engineer degree from Point Blank Music School, how did help you, I guess, by developing your career?
So I started Point Blank when a little bit before pandemic, and it was very great to take that. The degree was in sound engineering, and it helped me a lot on the sound design, building like quality sounds, more of like from scratch.
Right.
It wasn't like very related to techno, so the assignments were very difficult because I was like looking to produce techno,
Right.
but they helped me a lot on quality of the sound and what the music theory behind it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember one of the projects they put me to do a trap song converted into techno. It was so hard, but it was great. So after that, during pandemic, I took like 20 master classes
Okay.
of my favorite DJs, because in pandemic everybody was doing a master classes.
Right.
So I took all of them, and since I was working from home and my job at that time, it was more of doing like launches. So I had to do. All of my work was physical, so at home I was not doing much.
Right.
So I did a lot of production classes that helped me a lot to create the style of music that I
Right.
wanted. I had already like that knowledge of what the quality of sound should be, but they didn't like necessarily taught me how to build like a techno kick.
Right.
Which is very different from a deep house kick,
Right, for sure.
or like the trap kick, or like all of these like little things for techno. The master classes like helped me a lot. So after that, I started producing like crazy, and it helped me so much both combined, because now I had like a better like ear skill.
Right.
Right now, I took like a long break on producing. Because I'm like shaping my techno style, but soon we're gonna have
Something.
releases.
Nice.
Yes.
How do you feel about when you share the stage with Sarah Landry?
Yeah.
Then one of your master classes, what I learned,
Yes.
or read that it was her.
It was her.
How does that feel? You've been, I guess, her
Yeah.
Is it a sensei? Is that what it calls? Not sensei, but I guess when you
Yeah.
yeah, when you're taking class from her, now you guys both at the same stage.
Yeah.
How does that transition to?
It was great. She's amazing. I opened for her 2 years ago as well, and then recently in October for November.
Right.
And it is kind of. I mean, when she did the master classes, she was not like what she
As
is
a
right
big-
now,
yeah,
as
as big as
the
she
big she is now, and it's kind of nice to see her trajectory because I mean. She is a producer. She deserves where she's going.
Right.
Do I like the music? Not very much now because she
Right.
changed a lot from where I took the master classes to today.
today.
But I really admire a lot of her work because, I mean, like her, a lot of people, like, I mean, in Juarez, techno was not like very welcoming. You know,
Right.
it was like, oh no, like, I mean, a lot of, promoters took me out of stages because that was too hard, that was too dark.
Right.
Right now, it's like everybody wants to play techno, right?
Right.
But before, I mean, like sticking right to yourself, like truth to yourself.
Right. To do yourself.
It was hard at the time, and she did it, and I admire that of her. It's like don't give a fuck,
Sure.
So yeah, it was very. I mean, it's been very nice to meet all of these artists that I at some point looked up to.
Right. So this is the last question I have from space. People
Yeah.
are often amazed that you're still on music and space industry. What's the secret behind to balancing the
Yeah,
work life? Do you have a? Well, you said that earlier that you
Yeah,
took the
I
the
would
boot
say
camps and all that.
Time management,
Time management.
organization.
Right.
That if I didn't have time management, or if I wasn't organized, I am a planner, and I do that for work, right? And I do that for his professional space.
Right.
So I do the schedule portion and the cost portion. So for me, it's a little easier to plan ahead. But yeah, it needs a lot of organization and time management.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially when traveling. Like, what was this? I'm doing the Miami, Detroit and Miami. So I was like, I'm gonna get to
Yeah.
Detroit, go to the hair, go to sleep, and then come back. I gotta be at the airport at 8. I get there at 11. And then
Yeah.
I gotta kill some time at the lounge.
Yeah.
Until I can check in, and I checked in. Then I gotta prepare, and especially because I'm doing 4 interviews. That 31st.
Oh,
I'm doing Raul Fazio from El Paso.
okay.
And then 10 Bin and doing Lara Clark that she had releases on with Indira Paganoto,
Okay.
And then Julia Nico, she got
Okay,
some
nice.
music and all that. This morning I was thinking, fuck, I'm gonna have to a lot of things to
No,
really
yeah.
read about them in a whole day.
You really need to be very like good at organizing stuff and knowing how much like things take.
Right.
Because like getting to the airport, like sometimes I mean I am the type of person that likes to go to the airport straight to boarding.
Right.
So sometimes I'm like 3 minutes,
Really? Running.
late by
That happened
running,
to me the
but
other day. I got there. I was like, maybe 3 hours early.
yeah.
Somehow, next thing you know, they're already calling my name, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shoot!" I was like, "How the fuck going from having 3 hours of space
Yeah.
to having like few minutes left to pick
And
up?"
now,
That's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
So, when Eric Pritz, because that's where I saw it on
Oh,
another
yeah.
podcast, when Eric Pritz play your track,
Yeah.
how was that like? And then do you send it to him, or how does that work? Or
No, I did this track on a label called CLC6, which is a pad in
Okay.
California, like a launch pad. And the owner of the label, he also is like a very space enthusiastic.
Okay.
So I launched this track called Cold Water Army, and I don't know, I just I'm all of my tracks, like I kind of like I do them, I release them, but I don't know, for some reason I don't have like enough confidence in
To send
me,
to a
in my
label?
work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't play them, and I'm like, it could be better. I'm always like, judging my productions. But when he played it, I was like, okay, like I kind of like believe a little bit more in my
Right.
project because. Yeah, he was in Boston. I didn't send it.
Right.
I don't know. I probably the label and one of those like distribution lists or whatever.
Right.
But he the label owner sends me a video and he's like, look, the track was played in Boston here, and that, and he has this techno project called Cyrus D.
Okay,
so
Cyrus D,
he
yeah.
played it under Cyrus D, and yeah, it feels very amazing to have, to work on something and then people acknowledge the work.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Someone like him, as big as him.
Right, right. I mean, they take the time to, because they don't. It's not like they have someone to look at their, pick up their music and send it to you.
To have the time to do it and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I was talking to someone. What was that? Who I was talking to? Something about like do the editing, because right now I just uploaded Techno Tuesday. You know, Tino.
Oh yeah, Tino. I love Tino.
And then I just finished D93 Dustin's.
Yeah.
And I have another one I'm working, and then I think I'm seeing it on maybe 45 reels, the editing between all those 3 videos.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, bro, and he was like, why don't you get someone this editing, bro? I was like, no, because they don't, first of all, I cannot teach them the sound or like the music that we like, or because maybe he just maybe editing the whole time. He doesn't really know anything about music, so maybe he's not gonna catch something that I can catch, the right thing, the real things, or what we think about the music, or things like that. So you kind of have to do it yourself.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. With the image with Unscene, I'm like also the same. I'm like, it's like I really want to, show some kind of like a specific feeling, and you have the idea, so you have to execute it.
Right.
So yeah.
So we pretty much about to be done. Yes. What will be an advice that you give to someone coming, I guess, from Juarez to, as a DJ that wants to start DJing and in producing? What would be an advice?
I would say like, get started and don't be afraid of, starting, because it can be, people could see it a little bit overwhelming to, produce or DJing. For me, DJing, it is very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. For me, it gives me like this sensation of like, just release. I do it every day before and after work. So I would, I would want to share that experience to the rest of the people, mm-hmm. more of like, combining that feeling. And also, I would say, like, don't let anybody tell you cannot do it.
Right.
Don't let anybody tell you cannot do space and techno.
Right.
Don't let anybody tell you cannot, be a DJ or produce, or that, it's not, you're not on the right time, or like, there's no limit, and there's no rules for this.
Right. So, also working, not that you're working in the really region now, but like related with the NASA and all that. I'm sure everyone's like, man, no one in the family has done it. How can you think about someone will hire you up there or in the NASA or something?
I think like a lot of people don't believe that you can
mm-hmm.
do things, and then we just like block ourselves, like automatically. And I've had, through all this journey, I've had so many people trying to pull me back. Mm-hmm. So many, and it's like, if you listen, take the feedback, but just like remember that, at the end of the day, the person who's going to do the stuff is you. So
right. I have something that, not me, but I guess I listen to it, that it says that if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Just like put a vision, and, do it. Don't say that, oh, I want to do it, and don't do it. Just do it. And the rest will come.
Right. And this is the last question that I have for you.
Yeah.
Where do you see your future in the electronic music in Mexico or globally?
Well,
5 years from now.
Yeah, 5 years from now. Very specific. So I believe, like, I wish, as things are progressing year after year, like, I get more and more, like, visibility and more gigs. And I've been, like, expanding a little more in Mexico this past year. And I hope, like, this next year will, continue to expand, because I live so far from home that it's kind of difficult to just, be part of the Mexican scene as solely Mexican.
Right.
But I don't know. I have a lot of projects coming up in the music, in productions, and I just, would like my success is to be able to reach the right people with the right music.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything you want me to add? Any shout out you want to send out?
No.
Maybe no, because sometimes like
people
right?
They're like, why you didn't mention
me?
You
didn't mention me, but you mentioned this person.
No, I just, I am just shout out to all the people that I've been working with
for
the past years. that had helped me to be the person that I am today,
Right.
and have helped me arrive where I am today and continue to learn.
Sweet, man. Any shout out to Jeff Bezos?
He sent me to the moon to play.
Right? Yeah. All right, guys. So this is gonna be it. We'll see you in LA next weekend.